Well, a voice command feature on Samsung's new smart TV could allow the interception of private conversations and their transmission to third parties. The revelation has the company issuing an advisory to its customers. Joining us now to chat a little bit more about this is Lindsay Smith from GetConnected. Lindsay, what exactly is Samsung saying here?
Well, most people don't realize that it's not just Samsung, it's any voice recognition television on the market today has the ability to listen in on conversations that are happening in your home. And this is something that's written into the terms of service, but most people, Samsung is the company that's most forthright about the fact that this is happening. And it's a bit concerning to people because it listens in on everything.
And who might have access to that other than Samsung?
So what happens in a lot of these cases with the television companies is they take that information that's being recorded and they translate it into text. And then that is done through a third-party provider. Now, what can happen is if that information isn't stored on a secure server, it can be stolen and easily hacked into, which is where the concerns are rising.
Do you think this is a big concern for consumers? I mean, most people are probably just arguing over what to watch on television, so they're not, too concerned about their conversations. But at the same time, it's pretty creepy.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the level of sensitivity of the conversations that you have in your home. For most people, it probably isn't a concern. These companies are not going out and specifically looking to find information to use against you. What they are trying to do is find information about how the television sets are being used so that they can improve them. Where people do need to understand that their privacy perhaps could be at jeopardy is if they are doing illegal activities.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, staying with privacy, a recent investigation has found that nearly all of the new cars on the market right now are vulnerable to security and privacy violations. I mean, this is pretty astounding.
Yeah, so what's happening now with the cars on the market is most of them are becoming connected cars, which means they have connectivity to the internet through Wi-Fi, through Bluetooth, or through GPS. So as we begin to open up our cars to transmit data out into the cloud and then receive data into the cloud, obviously it becomes vulnerable. And what's happened recently is a study that was done, or a test that was done by the National Defense Research Administration. They basically went in and were able to tap into OnStar's one of their cars and basically control braking, acceleration, and so on. And that was a frightening discovery for some people.
Yeah, and a lot of people, obviously, when they get into their vehicle, their phone automatically connects via Bluetooth. There's information on people's phones. Like, is there anything that people can do to protect themselves?
Well, as with the television sets and with the cars, there will be features that will allow you to turn this off. The problem with it is that you won't be able to access all of the advanced features that you probably want to in order to have a better driving experience or a better television experience. So it's kind of one of those catch-22s that it's going to be put back in the consumer's hands to decide how much information they're willing to let go of and how vulnerable they feel personally, and they'll be able to turn it on and off. The challenge, though, on the car side is that there aren't regulations governing this yet for the car manufacturers. Mm-hmm. It's coming, and it will be coming in the next 2 to 3 years, most through the U.S. government. But as of today, there is no regulation.
All right. Now, just quickly, speaking of voice recognition, Apple Siri has a lot of stiff competition.
Yeah, so Google now is on the market, and then we've also got Windows out with theirs. And there's been some, they're always fighting back and forth in a playful way to find out who's going to be the best. Siri usually wins hands down. There was a recent study done with 5 different languages to see which one would survive or perform the best on the language side of things. And Siri definitely won on all fronts. But I think Google and Microsoft are also giving Siri a run for their money, and it will continue to improve.
All right. That is Lindsay Smith from GetConnected joining us today. Lindsay, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.